Hello and welcome to part 16 of how to create the Twitch UI with ReactJS. In this part we are actually going to improve our videos which we have created in the last episode, and we are actually going to add an animation which we see right here, a nice little color on the left and the bottom side, and we are going to remove the controls because right here we cannot play the video, so we shouldn't be able to do that right here as well. So to get started, we're going to open up our video, and in the video component at the bottom we have our video bottom. And we actually want to remove the controls right here. So as you can see right now, the controls are not present anymore, and we can just click on the video and nothing will happen. So the next thing we want to do is we want to add a wrapper to our video. So right here, we want to create a div around our video, and inside this div, we actually want to render two more divs, like so, and we want to give them the class name of left bar side and the class name of bottom bar side. So we look at the page right now, we don't see anything yet, but if we look in a video right here, let's see, we have one right here, we see that it has a video bottom, we have a div with inside of here the video, and then the two divs, the left bar side and the bottom bar side. So next we actually want to apply the hover effect for the video. So in our video.css, we want to apply a hover effect for the bottom video. So let's see, right here we have the bottom section. When we hover over the bottom video section, we want our cursor to become a pointer, but only if we hover over the video itself. So let's see, we want to target the video bottom, and then we actually want to give this div a class name. Let's give it the class name of video wrapper. Save it up. We're going to target the video wrapper. When we hover over this one, we want our cursor to become a pointer, like so. And then we want our video to pop out of the screen actually. So let's see, when we hover over this, we want our cursor to become a pointer. And then, let's see, we want our video to have a transition, or actually a transform. And we want to translate it by 0.5 rem minus 0.5 rem, like so. And now if we hover over a video, you can see that it is moving to the top right. So just like right here, it is moving to the top right, but it's going a little bit robustic or a little bit dramatic, I don't know, it's just not smooth. So to smoothen this out, we are going to target the video. Now we are going to say transition all 100 ms and then linear. So, and now if we hover over the video, we won't see anything happening, and that is because our translate is still there. We need to remove that. And now when we hover over a video, you can see that it nicely transforms to the top right from the bottom left. So next up, we want to create the left bar for the video. So in our video, we are going to say video bottom video wrapper, and then how do we call it? We call it left bar side, and we want to give it a top of 0 pixels, a left of 0 pixels, and a bottom of 0 pixels. Want to give it a width of 0.5 rem, and want to give it a background color of green. And we also want to position it absolute, otherwise these properties won't take effect. So if we save this up, we see a nice little green bar appearing, or well, a big green bar appearing on the left side. But to fix this, we actually want to give a position relative to our video wrapper. So we are going to add that to the wrapper, like so. And right now you can see that the bar is appearing on the video wrapper, which is nice because that's what we want. But as you can also see, it's always appearing, and we actually only want it to appear when we hover over the video. How are we going to do this? We actually wanted to give it a width of 0 by default. Let's say like so. And then when we hover over the video, we want to give it a width of 0.5 rem. So right here we have the hover effect, which is going to copy over this underneath the left bar side. And here we target the left bar side. And let's just say that we want to give it a width of 0.5 rem. And let's see how this turns out. So as you can see, it is just appearing out of nowhere. So instead of doing it like this, we want to use the skillx function. So right here, we want to say that it should be 0.5 rem always, but we want to give it a transform skillx of 0, so it doesn't have any width. And now when we hover over the video wrapper, we want to say that we want to transform it by skillx and then 1, like so. So as you can see, it is now appearing, but we also want to have a nice little transition of all 100 ms linear. So, and now when we hover over the video, you can see that we have a nice little green bar appearing on the left side. So next up, we want to specify the transform origin. We type in transform origin 0 pixels, 100% and 0 pixels. And if we now hover over the video, you can see that it is not transforming from the right to the left anymore, but just from the left. And if we comment this out, you can see that it is just a little bit popping out from the right to the left, and it's not what we want. So we want to do it like so. So now we actually have the left bar done. So now that we have the left bar, we actually want to create the bottom bar. So to do that, we're going to create a new class right here, video bottom, video wrapper, and then the bottom bar side. We want to give it a position of absolute as well. We want it to start from the bottom. We want to give it a left of 0 pixels and a right of 0 pixels. Then we want to give it a height 0.5 rem. We want to transform it by a scale y of 0, just like what we did with the width. Then we want to give it the same background color and the same transition and transform origin, like so. And next up, we actually want to have the same hover effect as well. Only we want to target the bottom bar, and we want to say scale y. So if we save this up and hover over the video, you can see that the video is now hovering to the top right, and that the top left and the bottom right, or the left and the bottom side, are being covered by the bars right now. So as you can also notice, the bottom bar is touching the side menu, and right here it is not touching the side menu. So we actually want to add a little bit of margin bottom to the video when we have a video bottom. So actually we want to do it to the video wrapper, I think. So we say video bottom, video wrapper, and then a margin bottom of 15 pixels, something like that. So as you can see, now we have a little bit more spacing, and we might even want to decrease this to 10 pixels. And now we have the good amount of space. So to finish it off, we actually want to create a nice little angle right here on the bottom right and the top left. As you can see right here on the bottom, on the top left and the bottom right. So it creates that like 3D effect so that the video like pops out of the screen. So to do that, we are going to create a before and a after element, or actually only the before element. So let's start with the left bar side. So right here we have the left bar side. We want to copy this over to here. I want to say before, and let's give it some content, because otherwise this won't render. So now that we have a before, let's look into the inspector. Let's select the bar right here, and as you can see, it now has a before element. Nice. So what do we want to do with this? We want to give it a position of absolute. Actually, everything the same as we did right here. But instead of giving it a width of 0.5 rem, we want to give it a border. So the border that we want to give to our before will be border top of 0.5 rem solid and transparent. Then we have a border right of 0.5 rem green and then solid. Actually first solid and then green, like so. And then we have our border bottom, which is the same as the border top, but then just on the bottom, like so. And then we actually want to remove the bottom from here as well. So if we save this up and refresh the page, we won't see anything yet. And the reason why we don't see anything is because the left bar side is appearing inside of the left bar side. So what we want to do is we want to give it a transform of translate y. Then we want to translate it by a value of minus 0.5 rem. If we translate it by this, you can see that we get a nice little edge on the top left. So we are going to add this to our left bar side. We are going to say transform. Then we want to say translate y minus 0.5 rem, like so. So now, if we hover over a video, you can see that we get a nice little border on the top left. But as you can see, the top left edge is actually not transforming nicely back into its position. It's just going to the left and not actually to the bottom. So the reason why that is happening is because we don't actually use a transition for the edge on the top left. So we should actually apply a new transform, which is scale of 0. And then we want to copy over this hover. And inside the hover, we actually want to target the left bar side before. And we want to give it a transform of translate y by minus 0.5 rem. And a scale of 1, like so. So now if we hover over this, we see that it is now scaling nicely, so we don't see that it is not shrinking from top to bottom, but it's also looking a little bit clunky, and that's because we don't have a transition. So right here, we also want to add a transition. We want to transition all 100 ms and then linear. And if we save this up, we see that it's now nicely transitioning from the closed state to the open state. And to finish it off, we want to specify the transform origin. So right here, we want to say transform origin, which will be left, center, and 0 pixels. And as you can see right now, the top left corner is now nicely transitioning in and out with the video. So next up, we want to do the same for the bottom right section. So we are going to go to the bottom bar side right here, and then we want to create a new before. So right here, say video bottom, video wrapper, and then bottom bar side before, like so. And we want to add some content, otherwise it won't display. And then we're just going to copy this over from the left bar side before. And then we're going to change top to bottom actually. Then we change left to right. This will display from the bottom right position right here. And then we want to change the borders. So instead of displaying those borders, we want to display the colored border on the top side. So right here, instead of saying right, we say top, because the top side is what touches the video. Right here it was the right side, right here it is the top side. So right here we give the border top a green color, then we give the border left a transparent color, and the border right also a transparent color. And no, we don't want to open up the website right here, so we say border right. And now that we have the borders correct, we actually want to change the transform right here. Instead of translating the y value, we want to translate the x value by 0.5 rem. And we also want to change the transform origin. So before it was the left, center, and 0 pixels, because we were on the left side and we wanted the center point from the center. But now we are on the bottom side and we want to transition from the center. So start with center, horizontally center, and vertically we are on the bottom side, like so. So to finish it off, we should apply the hover effect, just like we did right here. And instead of targeting the left bar side, we want to target the bottom bar side. And then we just say translate x by 0.5 rem with a scale of 1. And actually, instead of giving it a negative 0.5, we just want to make it positive, because look what happens right now. The video is working correctly. If we change this to a negative, it won't display because it is displaying on the left side, so it is displaying in the bar actually. We want to display it on the right side, like so. So now that we have the 3D effect done, I actually want to do one last thing before we finish this episode, and that is to create a variable for the size of the 3D border. So in our app.css, we are going to create a new variable which will be shadow size, and the shadow size will be 0.5 rem. So now in our video.css, let's find where we type in 0.5 rem. That's right here on the left bar. Yeah, so I'm just going to change all the places where we specify 0.5 rem for the bottom and the left bar to the variable which we have created right here. So I'll be back in a second. So I have changed it everywhere. As you can see, we have 0.5 RAM with 0 results. And if we fill in our variable, we will see that we have 14 results. That's nice. So as we can see, it is not working anymore. And that is because the way that we use the negative value of our shadow size is not like this. We need to wrap it in a calc, like so. And we need to say -1 times variable which we have right here. So I'm going to change it in the other places where we use it. So I have changed it with calc, and right now, as you can see, our video is responding. So what we can really easily say right now is we can just say that we want to change this to 1 RAM, save it, and let's see, wham, we have a lot of box shadow, or well, box shadow, drop shadow on our video. We change it to 10 RAM. Wow, even more, they almost come out of the screen. Looks really cool. Okay, so let's just keep it at 0.5. Maybe we want to make it a little bit smaller, 0.4. Yeah, so I think this is a little bit more subtle. With this, I want to end this episode right here. I want to thank you for watching. I hope you could follow along. Leave a like down below, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye!